only spoke in one debate. Somebody got sick, but by sheer accident, Vivian de Valera chaired it, and I was asked to step in, and he heard me speaking. A while later, a famous priest called Doc Carroll rang him up without telling me, and he said, "I have a boy here. You're starting a new evening paper, I hear, Vivian." This was 1954. The leaving cert was coming up. And the boys were scattering, and he knew that I hadn't got much prospects. And a boy here that'll either turn out a genius or he'll break your heart. I think you should give him a start. He's a sort of, would make a good journalist. So Vivian was belaboured by requests of that sort, starting up a new paper. And I said, "Oh yeah, who is he?" And he said, "It's Ned, you might have known Ned Coogan." "Oh God, yes, I did, of course." "Was that the lad that spoke at the debate?" It was. So I got an interview with Douglas Gageby, who was the editor of it, and I started on August the 13th. The paper came out on September the 1st. Very good newspaper, just on hard news. Generally the journalistic techniques and the training were second to none. And I became deputy editor of the Evening Press. And then I was appointed editor of the Irish Press in 1968. So I never really got a chance to learn an honest occupation. I went into journalism and stayed there. I was always torn between writing as a career and journalism as a career. So certainly the writing had to go on the back foot for years. Though I managed to write a couple of things. I wrote the book, the first edition of the IRA book, while I was still editor. We had a pantheon of great men at one stage, and really, the more I think about it recently, I've been giving my mind to it a lot. You could nearly measure to a pinpoint of actuarial accuracy the depth of our faults, our fall, and the general Slobdovian sort of country we're living in at the moment, a morass, begging bowls out everywhere, and losing our young people, losing idealism. You could nearly measure the depth of that morass by the extent to which we departed from the ideals of those men and their example and their selflessness and the way they lived. Griffith talked about ever in history used to be associated with anybody. He wanted one name, and that name was Michael Collins. And Griffith, after all, founded Modern Ireland. He was the founder of Sinn Féin. And I just think why he said that. I don't know whether you've ever had a fright, a really bad fright, but it leaves you affected for some time afterwards. A very considerable amount of time you'll be shaken. And Collins probably had an experience of that order, not once but a number of times every day. And he still went on with this meticulous concentration what he was doing, got up on the bicycle and cycled around, delivered things, made arrangements, had somebody shot, had some stuff got into the country, arranged for money, arranged that, some IRA widow would get whatever was due to her. Little and big, he was able to attend to a mass of detail, which is a sign of genius too. You can compartment your mind and just attend to one project at a time. Not everyone could do that, but much fewer people could do it when they've had their brains addled by a terrifying experience just before it. James Connolly had some advice for people that I'd give to grandchildren. He said, "The great only appear great because you are on your knees. Arise,